Shalom, 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 Israel. This your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another edifying video, right? And today we're going to talk about birthdays, right? Is it scriptural? Should we be celebrating birthdays, right, as Israelites, right? You so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So let's get into it, right? But first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, right? And we do so in His only begotten Son's name, Yahweh Shai. We say, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai, right? All praises, right? Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes, right? Let's get into it, right? So we're going to start off, right? We're going to start off in the law, right? We're going to go to Leviticus 18 and 3, right? And it states, Leviticus 18 and 3, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, ye shall not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. Right? So according to the law, we shouldn't be doing any customs that the Egyptians are doing, or anything of in the land of the milk and honey, or in Canaan. We shouldn't be practicing any of the laws and customs and things that they were doing, right? Because they were off, man, right? That's why the Lord gave us that land, right? That's why the Lord was destroying the Egyptians, right? So let's get that, right? So it says, after those doings of Egypt, we should not do, right? So let's get into it, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 40 and verse 20, right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 40 and verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was the Pharaoh's birthday, right? So the Pharaoh was having a birthday, right? And we just found that in the law, we shouldn't be doing after the customs of the Egyptians. Well, guess what? The Egyptians were celebrating their birthday, right? It says, and it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and the chief baker among his servants, right? So this is a heathen custom, right? That they celebrate their birthdays, right? We shouldn't be celebrating that. We shouldn't be doing that, right? Let's get another account, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, right? We're going to make this a quick video, right? It's the book of Matthew, right? Chapter 14 and verse 6, right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 14 and verse 6. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias, danced before them and pleased Herod, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. Right? Reading on verse 8. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. Right? So this is Herod's birthday. Right? This is a heathen celebrating his birthday, which is a custom we don't do. Right? And what happened? His daughter, right? The mother told the daughter that she wanted John the Baptist's head on a platter. That's what she wanted for him on his birthday, right? And he did it. He did it, right? They had a big feast. They were dancing and doing all that stuff, right? This is wickedness, man. This is wicked. This is wickedness. This is wicked stuff, right? We shouldn't be celebrating this stuff, right? Let's go to the book of Job real quick. Right, let's see what Job did, right? Let's go to the book of Job. We'll start at verse 1, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil, right? So Job, according to the Bible, was a perfect man, right? Perfect and upright, right? And Job didn't celebrate his birthday, right? But his kids did, right? Let's get that. This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one on his day, right? His day meaning their birthdays, right? They had feasts or parties on their birthday, right? And sent and called their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them, right? So not only did they just celebrate, they got They got their brothers and sisters, and they all celebrated, right, their birthday, right? And it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about that Job sent and sanctified them and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This did Job continually. Right, so he had to keep doing it because they was keep going to birthday parties, right, worshiping themselves, right, hold themselves up. It's my birthday, celebrate me, right. And Job knew that that was going off, so he went and offered burnt offerings. And it said Job was a perfect man and just and upright, and Job didn't celebrate birthdays, right. So we need to take according to the scriptures, right. Let's get another account, right? So we got to understand, man, that this is off, man. We shouldn't be celebrating, right? Because it's vanity, right? It's vain. It's prideful, right? Let's get that. Let's get what the definition of vanity is, right? So this is the book of vanity, right? It's excess pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievement, right? And that's what a lot of our people do, man, in their birthdays. Hey, look at me. It's my birthday. You need to speak to me. You need to sing happy birthday to me. You need to call me on my birthday, right? That's self-worship, right? And having other people worship you or uplift you and hold you up in like a godlike status, right? That's vanity and that's pride. And we know that the Most High hates pride, right? The Most High hates pride, right? So let's get that, right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, and verse 13. It says, book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 13, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. The Most High hates that, right? So when you're worshiping yourself and it's my birthday, me, I, that's prideful, and the Most High hates that, right? And He's not dealing with that, right? And we didn't celebrate birthdays, right? We haven't, that was not our custom, was to celebrate birthdays, right? Let's get that real quick, right? Let's go to the book of Maccabees, right? Let's go to the book of Maccabees. I want to say second Maccabees, right? So like here, second Maccabees, chapter 6, and verse 7, right? And it says, this is the book of second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat the sacrifices, right? So this is talking about the Jews, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are the Israelites, you are the Jews, right? It says, in the day of the king's birth, right? That's his birthday, right? It says they were bought by bitter constraint. That means they had to force them to come, right? To eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews, were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy. So they basically was forcing us to have to go to these birthday parties, right? You could just imagine, you know what I mean? We don't follow these customs, and they're dragging you here to go celebrate and worship this man for his birthday, right? That's off, right? But now what do? Now we willingly worship ourselves and worship other people on their birthdays, and that's off. We're not supposed to be doing that, right? It's okay to acknowledge, all right, hey, I just turned, whatever. That's cool. All praises to the Most High, right? But to have that prideful spirit, hey, you gotta call me, you gotta wish me a happy birthday, you gotta sing to me, you gotta bring me presents. That's off, man. That's idolatry. That's self-worship, right? That's vanity, right? We got to get out of that stuff, right? And that's the tradition of men, right? That's the tradition of men, right? Let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Colossians, right? Let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 2, right? And verse 8. It says, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, right? Or Hamashiach, right? So birthdays is a vain custom. It's a tradition of men, right? We do it because our forefathers did it, because their forefathers did it. Why? Because these heathens made us follow these customs, and now we've just consented to it, right? Back in the day, we weren't going for that. They had to try to drag us right to the birthday parties, but now we willingly come. Oh yeah, you birthday? Yeah. What time? Oh yeah, we gonna get turned up. We gonna get. Hey man, that's off, man. That's off. The Lord is not dealing with that, right? The Lord is not dealing with that, right? Let's get that real quick, right? Let's go to let's go to the book of Luke, right? Chapter 4, and verse 7. Right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 7. And it says, now this is the devil trying to tempt Yahushua, right? It says, if thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine, right? So the devil was trying to get Yahushua to worship him, right? And Yahushua answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve, right? So we should only be serving the Most High God, Yahweh, right? We shouldn't be serving or worshiping anything else, man. We shouldn't be worshiping man because it's their birthday, or a woman because it's their birthday, right? That's off, and that's not according to the scriptures, right? And because the Most High God is a jealous God, right? He doesn't like that. He wants his reverence. He wants his glory, his worship, right? And how are you, who is man, right, to glory in himself, who he can't even tell when he's born, right? What day he's born, what month he's born, right? When he died, you can't. That's all through the Lord, right? So let's get that. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And we'll start at verse 14, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you, right? So these other nations, this is their customs. This is what they worship. This is what they do, right? It says, for the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth, right? And that's why we see a lot of times at birthday parties, right? People getting shot, right? People going to jail. It be fights. It's all because the Lord is not dealing with that. The Lord is not dealing with that, right? People get caught up in their feelings and they get mad, right? Because nobody called me on my birthday, right? Then you get all in your feelings, and then it's vain. It's vanity. You're chasing men's glory, right? And you shouldn't be chasing men's glory, right? You should be chasing the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, right? All right, let's get back to that, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah real quick, right? Book of Jeremiah, right? Chapter 10, and verse 2. Right? Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and verse 2. Verse 1, Salakia. Hear ye the word of the Lord. Salakia. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Right? Israel is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Right? We shouldn't learn the ways of the heathen. What's the heathen? What's the ways of the heathen? Birthdays, right? These wicked folly days, right? It says, learn not the way of the heathen, right? And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, right? A lot of our people, they're caught up into horoscopes. Oh yeah, my birthday's this day. It's a horoscope. Hey, that means, hey, oh man, they say, if you this, oh man, then you act like this. Or if you do this, you act like that, right? That's what our people do. But the Lord said, don't deal with that, right? It says, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? And it says, for the customs of the people are vain. So the customs of these heathen are vain, right? It's pointless, right? There's no value in it, right? You sit up here worshiping and celebrating birthdays. It's all folly at the end of the day, right? All right, let's go to but a lot nowadays our people they're caught up all in all the ways of the heathen, right? Let's get that. Let's go to the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. It says, the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lover of their own selves, right? That's what birthdays are, right? Oh, yeah, it's my birthday. Yeah, man, I'm about to, everybody gonna be calling me, right? They're gonna be showing me love, that's men being lovers of their own selves, right? Covetous, boasters, right? Yeah, it's my birthday, man. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Proud, right? Yeah, it's not your birthday. It's my, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, right? Unthankful, right? Ah, man, I didn't want this gift, man. If it's not if it ain't no money in this card, then it's point. This is what is going on in this world, right? Unthankful, unholy, right? Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good, right? That's what's happening in these last days, man. A lot of our people are falling, to these wicked ways of the heathen, right? And birthdays is one of those wicked things that we shouldn't be celebrating, man. Right? We have new moons, so right? We have feasts every month. Every month we have feasts and celebrations, right? You don't need a birthday. You don't need a birthday month, man. Every month, right, is a new moon, is a celebration, it's a feast, it's a gathering, it's a party, right? And then in those we have other feast days, right? Passover, the feast of in the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of first fruits, the feast of blowing of the trumpets, right? The feast of dedication, right? What else? Some more. The day of Nicanor, right? We have all these different feasts and these different things that we can come and celebrate, right? You don't need to celebrate your birthday, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 14, right? It says, I have seen all works that are done under the sun, right? That under the sun is in the earth, right? And behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit, man. So at the end of the day, all that stuff is vain, man. All that celebrating your birthdays, right? Trying to, make sure everybody calls you and sings and crowds around you and gets you a birthday cake with the flame, the candles and all that stuff, and you blowing it out and they celebrating and worshiping you, right? And then as soon as they leave, they talking about you. Oh man, I didn't want to come to this party, and you know what I mean? It's all vain at the end of the day, and vanity. And then when people don't celebrate it, then people have problems. Nobody loves me, right? Your love is based on people celebrating your birthday. That's not right, right? We got to get off that. Right? And we got to not love the things of this world, right? Let's go to 1 John, right? 1 John chapter 2. And we'll start at verse 15, right? This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If a man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, right? So if you love the things of this world, right? Not the world loves birthdays, right? The world loves Christmas, right? That's not even Christ's birthday, right? It doesn't even tell you in the Bible when Christ's birthday was, right? So why are we celebrating that? You know, that's vain. That's a vain custom, right? We got to get away with that, right? It says, for all that is in the world, right? The lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of this world, right? So when you are, lusting after this stuff and worshiping and it's my birthday, hey, you getting all this pride, all that pride of life, all that is not of the Father, but it's of this world, right? And we know that right now that the wicked is running this world, right? And it says, reading on verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever, right? So you're celebrating your birthday, right? And you're driving home, and all of a sudden you get into a car accident and you die, right? Because you was not trying to keep the laws of the statutes, But it says, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever, right? So you could choose to worship the Most High God, right? Who's going to give you all these other great holidays, holy days, Salakia, holy days to celebrate, right? And not these wicked folly days, right? All right, let's keep going. Because we reading through the scriptures that guess what? This is not something that we did, right? As Israelites, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you were Israelites. This is not a custom or a thing that we did, but our people have, decided to go against what the Most High God is telling us to do, right? So let's get this. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 25, right? It says, "Who changed the truth of God into a lie?" Right? So in the Bible, it says nothing about, hey, you need to worship, you need to practice your birthday, you need to do this. No, it doesn't tell you that, right? So it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, right? Our people are worshiping each other for their birthdays, celebrating them and upholding them. It says, Salakia, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Right? So let's go to we did Colossians, right? We have to wrap it up. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, right? Right. So we shouldn't be following these customs, right? Of the heathen, right? So let's get that. This is a perfect one. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, right? So we shouldn't be envying the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, right? We shouldn't be choosing the ways of our oppressors, right? Right? Because this is spiritually Egypt. So the same customs that in Egypt, they're doing it here in America, right? America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, right? According to Revelations, right? And we should not be envying the oppressor, right? Oh, they got a birthday. Look at them. They doing it big, right? Right? We shouldn't be doing that, right? And it says, choose none of their ways. What are some of their ways? Birthdays, right? Birthdays. It's off, right? All right, let's get, got a couple more. All right, let's go to the book of Acts now. All right, book of Acts, chapter 5, right? Let's get it. 29, right? We shouldn't be worried about what the oppressor is and what men say, right? It says, this is the book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man, right? Point blank. We ought to obey God rather than man, right? But our people, they don't want to follow God. They don't want to follow his laws, right? So let's get that. This is the book of Romans, right? Chapter 3 and verse 3, right? It says, Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe, right? A lot of people don't believe in this Bible. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that you can't celebrate your birthdays that's the old days, right? This is the new day. This is a new age, right? It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, and it is as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and might overcome when thou art judged. Right? You're gonna be judged for the things that you do, right? You're gonna be judged for the things that you do on this earth, right? And you ought to do it according to the Most High God. And if you follow His law, statutes, and commandments, right, you will far off a whole lot better than if you're going and following man's custom and man's ways, right? Because we know, right, we're not here to be worshiping ourselves. We're here because we're servants of the Lord, right? The Lord chose us to be His servants. We're supposed to be worshiping and reverencing Him, right? So we got to understand what we here on this earth for, right? And it's not to be celebrating birthdays and all these wicked, evil customs, right? So let's get the book Revelations, right? The old classic. We're going to go to chapter 12 and verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, right? And we saw what fear God was. We read that in, Proverbs 8 and 13, right? It's to hate evil, right? So fear God and keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. The whole duty of man is to fear the Most High God and keep His commandments, right? And one of His commandments is to not learn the customs of the heathen and not to follow after the traditions of Egypt, right? And these other nations, right? Reading on, it says, verse 14, for God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, right? So at the day, in the day of the Lord, the day of judgment, man, you're going to have to face this, man, right? And if you out here, and they pull your script and, oh, yeah, it looks like you was out here, celebrating your birthday, man, being wickedness. You were worshiping your own self. You had other people worshiping you. And the Most High hates that, right? You'll get judged for that. So this is why we got to come out of these law, statutes, and commandments. Salakia. We got to come out of these wicked ways and follow the law, statutes, and commandments, right? According to the Most High, with the faith of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, right? So with that, I hope you've been edified, right? And I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory of St. Kahal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. All praise to the Most High God, right? And His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose real name is Yahushai Hamashiach, right? Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. And with that, a hearty and warm shalom.